Ryan Hearn for that one. He's been looking good in the late model division, and although he missed last week's race due to, I believe, weather in his area and couldn't make it to the racetrack. So I look for Ryan Hearn to bounce back and maybe win that one. What about you, Stevie?
Well, look here, some good names, good people. It's hard to pick. I'd have to go with Zimmerman again. Zimmerman, you know, he's got to push it, got to try to catch up in some points, make the chase, which is in like, I don't even know, like 9 races, I think. So I think that maybe he'll be trying to push it in the next couple weeks to catch up.
Yeah, being on vacation as long as he has, he's got a deficit to come back from, and I think he can pull it off. I mean, it's still too early in the season, so yeah, Chad be another good pick.
Yeah. So, everybody's been wondering about owner standings. There is an owner's championship. Well, it's not really like the owner's championship, but there is an owner standings, and I guess if you're leading the owner standings at the end of the year, you can be the owner champion, I guess. You can call yourself that. As I'm looking at the 70 series, I got my driver, Kevin Klein, who's only started 2 races. He's in 7th. But I've had subs for him in the races he doesn't have. He hasn't raced. And he's in 2nd in owner standings, but he's 7th in driver's points. So getting subs really can change your perspective, I guess you can say, on if you want to win the owner standings or not.
Yep. Like we say, subs, they may only get 25 points for, well, let me rephrase that. If you can't find a sub, your car only gets 25 points. But if you find the sub, the car will get the points that driver got, but the driver starting the race will get the points, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think most people understand that here. So we got, see here, standings here. We got, let's see, Stevie Miller, me, leading the 70 series, 560. Second in that would be Justin Brooks at minus 64, and David Calhoun at minus 80. And in the Cup series, we got Maverick Morrow tied with Jake Williams, and let's see here, tied with Jake Williams, 350 each. Stevie Miller with minus 10. Joe Willis is minus 12. That hasn't changed for about 2 weeks because we got rained out this weekend. And in the late model series, we got Jake Williams leading sort of again with 550 points, with Justin Brooks minus 83 and Stevie Miller minus 92. And if I look at the bottom of the standings, people grabbing into the chase this weekend. Jake Williams got himself into the chase race right now. He's in the 10th spot. Bill Newberry got himself into the chase area at the Cup after the Cup race 2 weeks ago. He's in there, and Jeremy Stanley made his appearance into the chase right here in the late model series. So it's gonna be a pretty good battle of the chase, I can say.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've been seeing, somebody's at least going to miss maybe 1, maybe at the most 3 races this for each series or all series. And see, you know, Jeremy Stanley just made his debut along with Nick Phillips in the late model series, and as you can see on the forum, Jeremy Stanley drastically moved up. He moved to 10th position. He gained 3 spots, and he hadn't even raced the first 2 races of the season. So that right there tells you that it can be made up, but it would be difficult to make it up.
Yes, that's very assuring of that.
Yes, and once again, when we're not sim racing, we are drinking Powerade. Powerade, the sponsor of Raceday.
Yeah, you know, I had something on my mind and it just slipped. I absolutely, positively forgot what I was going to say. Oh, here we go. I was looking at the record books, and Stevie Miller, me, only person to race in every AMRL functioned event. And that's just amazing, I guess I could say about myself. So, on to other news. Calhoun, the driver's list for the OWR, that's really getting big.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of more people are signed up on it. Could be things to come for AMRL's future. I know the OWR series is just a 5 race event, but the entry list is getting drastically big as the race approaches.
Yeah, it's getting pretty big. Oh, and another thing is, Calhoun, you might want to mention this to the people, but I've been hearing at Stevie Mill Racing, I'm the owner, but I've been getting a lot of phone calls from Chevy lately, and they want me to drive Impalas in '08 for my team. What do you think about that, Calhoun, from a driver of my team's perspective?
Well, when something like that occurs, changing from what we run now, Dodge, to Chevrolet, that's a real big deal. I mean, especially for me, if this does take place in 2008, I am going to be changing numbers. But if we stick with Dodge, I'll stick with 11. But if we do switch to Impalas next year for the Cup Series, I would like to go back to my old classic number, 37, which a lot of people don't know that my team, Rebel Racing Incorporated, is looking to expand to a Cup team, the 37. We're still looking for a driver and sponsorship. So if anybody's interested, please get in touch with me.
Yes, you know that. And let's see here. If Stevie Mill Racing did go to Chevrolet, it would also be in the late model, and whatever might be next year, we might not have the 70s. We might be going to OWR maybe. We might do some super sprint. You never know. It'll take time to figure out. I might do a poll later in a couple months to see which mod you like best. So I'll be looking forward to that. What mod would you like to see next year, Cal?
Well, I'm looking forward to the OWR, and I'm kind of excited about it. And I think even though this is going to be 5 races, there'll be more people showing up for that just because it is so short. And a lot of other leagues don't run it. There's some leagues, I think you run in another league that runs the OWR, and a couple other drivers, they love the mod, and I'd like to see it maybe run a bigger schedule next year if possible.
Yeah, it's pretty popular among people. So I guess we'll head off. Powerade official sponsor of AMRL Raceday. You got anything else to say, Calhoun?
I'd like to say welcome back, Chad Zimmerman, after a very months-long vacation. I'd also like to thank Chris Inciardi for splitting ride time with me in the late model series in the number 37 Exxon Chevrolet. So that's all I got to say besides Powerade, the sponsor of Raceday.
Alright, so thanks for listening, guys. It wouldn't be possible without you, and I guess we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.